Hello and welcome back. I'm not quite sure if there's anybody in. I've normally got a couple of hellos in there before we begin. But if there is anybody, hello Aaron, how are you doing? Can you let me know if you can hear it and if you can see everything okay, just to ease my worries that everything's okay. Hey Silver Ali, how are you doing, my friend? So if everything is technically working, we need to get on with what we got in store tonight. I'm going to try and fit in 4 games tonight. We have Nottingham Forest at home in the Premier League, Ipswich away in the Premier League, Nottingham Forest at home or on neutral. That's going to be at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final, and then West Ham at home. 4 very winnable games, and we have struggled. We have been struggling a bit of late, and I was thinking about maybe 3 at the back is causing us to be a little bit too defensive. And I have used this before, and so I've decided to switch to the 4-2-2-2. And I've used this before. I think I used it at Bournemouth and I used it at Juventus, and it does cause some goals to be scored, or at least it did in the past. And I'm just looking at this team selection, and to me that looks like a very strong team, even playing 4 at the back. Let's hope that it is a good team, and that we are either going to see tonight a lot of goals being scored by Newcastle, or we are going to see a night of despair. We have people coming back to fitness, which is good news. And the interesting thing about what has happened since I decided to switch that over and then I moved it on to the day before the game, if you remember, the game was targeting my wing backs. Well, suddenly all my wing backs have got fit again, and now it's started targeting my forwards, because we've got Isak out now for 3 to 6 weeks. And that's all about the fact that I'm going to need lots of cover up front. So the game is not relenting in any way. It is still trying to cause problems. I still have a bench of forwards that I can call on. Kumalo can play up top, and Sion can play up top. So hopefully it's not going to cause too much of a problem. I have Shazavari who can fill in attacking mid. But if we get too many forwards injured in the coming couple of weeks, we're going to have to revert back. And so here we go. We're going to go and get straight into this. Nottingham Forest struggling in 16th. We're going to go attacking. This is an attacking tactic. I've tweaked it, obviously, for the team that we have, for the squad that we have. And let's tackle harder. Let's go out there and give them a bit of a game, shall we? And we'll see what happens. I'm certain that because we've been playing in a fairly defensive setup, which 3 at the back is, I'm pretty certain that, let's turn the sound off, that it will surprise Nottingham Forest the way that we go about our business here today. And hopefully it will be a comprehensive victory. I'm hoping anyway. And I think we should be telling them, I don't know about pickup, our home form is important to us. And let's go out there, make a difference. Let's go and get some goals, boys. We've set you up attacking today. Let's go and get some goals. Or let's go into the depths of despair. Because I don't know what's going on here. I've just made that decision that perhaps 3 at the back is a little bit too defensive for this, what is a team full of good attacking players. And it's not a bad start that we've made. And I've tried this before in this save, and I do remember doing it with Bournemouth when we were in the depths of despair with Bournemouth. And this attacking system just turned it around, even though the team don't know how to play in this system. And certainly they're not trained at 4 at the back. We have been playing for most of the season, in fact all of the season, they were playing with 3 at the back. So it's a big change, but we are in. Canote has hit the post, and we are picking up where we left off, missing open goals. But let's hope that that's a one-off. He really should have put that away. It was pretty easy to score there. And I'm just shocked that he didn't put that away. But it's all Newcastle at the moment. And Forest are struggling to come to terms with this attacking style. They weren't expecting us to come out like this. And so I'm hoping the match engine... must be a penalty. Come on, referee. He didn't even look at it. Hello, Laissez-Faire. How are you doing? Alan, good evening. How's it going? And we've made a decent start. That's all I can say. Nottingham Forest have not been out of their half yet. And that's how I want to play the game. We want to keep putting pressure on and eventually, hopefully, break them. And then the floodgates can open. Like I said, it's either going to work or it isn't. It's worked the last time I tried it. In fact, the last 2 times I've tried it. I'm sure I did it at Coritiba once. I don't know why it should work when you play a completely different system. I was playing 3 at the back with Coritiba when I did it. That worked as well. So we'll see what happens. We'll just be patient. And hopefully we'll score a ton of goals. It's a very strong team for Newcastle that's out on the pitch. At least according to my coaches. Maybe they've got that wrong, but that's a good pass. But another open goal has been missed. And this is a big worry, why we cannot hit the target. So it's not like we're not creating good chances. We are creating excellent chances. And we just can't seem to hit the target. I don't know what that is. I've rotated, tried all the players. We were lucky last episode, I think, which is why I didn't tell them to pick up where they left off. We were lucky against Brighton. We made a couple of changes. We are allowed to make changes again. And it just paid off. We got a couple of goals late in the second half. I don't think that was a great performance. And the game against Villa before it was dreadful. We just can't seem to get shots on target, despite the fact that we are dominating games. We just can't seem to get our shots on target. You can see where Forest are being pinned back inside their penalty area and just like relying on somebody to score a goal. We're either going to see a goal glut or we're going to just see this cannot score business continuing. We really need to win these 4 games. And once again, like shots in the penalty area and we can't put them away. And I don't know what it is. Really don't know what it is. I was planning on playing Isaac for the next few games to see if he could fit into this system, but unfortunately he's got himself injured, so can't feature. But again, we're just totally dominating. They can't get into our half of the field, and hopefully one of these chances is going to be put away. I'll take a set piece. I'll take a 1-0 win from a set piece goal. And that will be good enough for me. Again, another shot off target. It really is a nightmare team to manage, this one. I'm pretty sure it's just about buying better players. And 3 or 4 better players, I think results will change. I'm pretty convinced that's all it can be. I think the squad is big enough. And I think we just need to get rid of a couple of players and then bring other players in who are slightly better than them. I think that's my reading of what is going on here. And there is no reason why we should not be scoring goals at the moment. We're getting into very good positions. And we've seen 13 minutes so far, and Nottingham Forest have not been out of their penalty area much. We just can't put it away. But I'm going to remain patient. Something's got to give in the end. If we have about 30 shots, I'm pretty sure one of them will go in. I'm pretty sure. I just don't know why it is so hard for me to beat teams who are really struggling at the bottom. But they've made an error, got a chance, it's not put away. I wanted to play Kamalo as well, but he's limited in terms of game time still. And Forest have got no idea how to combat this, except they're just sitting back. And they're getting as many bodies in front of the ball or behind the ball. We've just got to do that, keep doing it, and hopefully somebody will get on the end. Another chance goes begging. When you instruct your team to play wide, it means your team will play... Yeah, absolutely, it means they will play wider. Or it will just instruct your team to look for the wingers. It will just instruct the team to separate themselves as much as possible. If you play narrow, all the players are close together, not just the wingers, but all of them. So playing wide when you're attacking just forces people just to separate, create a little bit more distance, including your front two. They will have a little bit of distance between them. And is this the Nottingham Forest goal? No. They did get into our half, but they still haven't been into our penalty area yet. And this boy needs to have a game at some point. A really good game. We haven't seen him. We've seen him score, but we have not seen him have a really good game where he's dictating the game. You got to remember also, Alan, that the game graphics are limited by what they can show, and this really isn't a visualization of the football match. So, like, we are fairly wide. We're not playing totally wide. We're not hugging the touchlines, but we are. I think I've got them instructed to play like fairly wide. Yeah, so we're playing fairly wide, and our focus is down the flanks. And that's to try and stretch the pitch width-wise. I might have to decide to stretch it a little bit vertically as well, just to create space, because the narrower we play, the easier it is for them to defend. So that's why I've gone fairly wide. And it's a totally one-sided match at the moment. Our XG, interestingly, is only 1.04. I thought our chances were better than that. Go on. Oh, and he's missed another one. And the game is actually, when you're missing all these chances, the game's telling you there's something wrong with what you're doing. It's not that your players are really bad, but the only way the game can show it or tell you is by make them look like monkeys who can't strike a football. And that's a limitation of the graphics. So what you're actually seeing is not what's actually happening on the football pitch. It's just making your team look like idiots because this gets stuck in. I always worry about this. So we're going to take that off, and now I will have to tell Jesus Abba not to tackle so hard. I don't think it really matters because they're not really coming anywhere near our goal. So what you're seeing is not what's actually happening. It's just the game making your team look like monkeys because it doesn't know, it can't do it any other way. And we're nearly playing a full game here, but the possession will not be, when this possession screen comes up, it will not reflect what we've seen. So we stop it there. The possession is actually 47, and we are actually lacking possession. Hello, Afanasif. So the game is actually fibbing because Nottingham Forest haven't had the ball, and yet we are playing comprehensive highlights, which is almost a full game. And it's not, the graphics are not telling the truth. One of the things that is relevant is this one, the number of shots on target. That is relevant. And if you are getting 50%, then you don't really have anything to worry about. If that's like 10 shots with 1 on target, then you've got to start worrying. This is the way the game shows you what's going on. So I sense that once we get 1, we'll get probably another couple because of what the game is telling me. Shots to shots on target ratio is quite important, and if you're getting 50% shots on target, then you're doing pretty well. So it's not a time to panic. It would be a time to panic if although we still are heading over the crossbar and doing all sorts of rubbish, but now it's getting slightly worse, so it is a time to worry. And again, if the possession was we were losing the possession battle, then the game would look somewhat different to what we're seeing. So it's not a true reflection of what's actually going on. He's taken that too far. So all we can do is at this moment is not panic, because the shots, we are getting shots on target, some of them. If all the shots were off target, then I'd be a bit more worried. Although I'm not too happy, so we are going to shout at them and demand more. And again, there's another big chance there that he didn't even get any touch on it. And if we look at our stats compared to theirs, in terms of key passes, we're totally outplaying them. Totally. So, although this looks like a football match, it's not. What you're seeing is a representation. It tells you that you're dominating the game, but things are not working. And again, another chance. But it really changes how much they touch the ball. Well, I'm not quite sure that has any relevance to me, Alan. You just instinctively know when you've played this game long enough. You just instinctively know that when you're absolutely battering a team like this and you haven't scored a goal, something's wrong. And there's another. So what I am going to do is I'm going to tell them to work the ball into the box. And it might be a good idea to actually... the two forwards are 6.4 and 6.5, and they have been dreadful. And I am not happy with that performance. And it might be that I'm going to take Muani off, because he's not going to recover from that now. And push Wirtz up, and then Kamalo can come on. But I'm going to push the other wing back forward as well now. There's just no point in keeping him on support. They haven't been in our half. So let's get another attacking body up there. And they have not been good enough. But what the game is, it's not saying that your players are playing badly. It's saying you're managing badly. It's just the only way it can say that is to make your players look like total monkeys. So when I make changes, hopefully the changes that I make will mean they stop looking like absolute idiots. But I'm not really sure what changes to make here, apart from personnel, because they're just battering their goal. Another chance goes over the bar. Hi, Tommy. Thanks for the confidence booster. But it's not going very well here. But like I said, I'll take a 1-0 at this point. And these are the games that people say I just got FM'd. Because we'll probably end up with about 25 shots at the end of the game. Nottingham Forest haven't had one yet. And Nottingham Forest will only need one. And that is not a reflection of a football match. So this isn't a reflection. Another chance goes wide. Although they're not. It's not a great chance. And we're coming up to the time where I need to change some personnel. Both forwards are absolutely rubbish. And they have missed chance after chance after chance. So they deserve their rating. Sometimes I can't work the rating out because the player seems to have had a good game. But he's been blamed for some mistake that hasn't been shown. Often the goalkeeper gets blamed and it doesn't look like he's done anything. It's like, how do you stop that one? There it is. And, oh, is he going to be given offside? Because that's another thing that the game will do, is when you are hammering someone, they will give it offside when you think you've scored. It's awarded. So now let's hope that the floodgates will open. And one of those strikers scored, did they? It was Muani. I was just on the point of taking him off. So he's gonna get a few more minutes. Finally. I did say that one of the things that you've got to look at is the shots on target. And that is telling me that it's a 2-0 win. If we can start getting more on target, then our chances will go up. So that's why I wasn't panicking as such yet, because we were getting some shots on target. If that was one, I'd be really worried about what's going on. He's offside again there. Yeah. And as yet, we are so dominant in this game. Although the stats are not suggesting it, they haven't actually had a single opportunity until now. Of course. And because we are playing this attacking system, we've got players gone missing, which they'll probably punish us for. That's their first shot. That's their first attempt. And I just got to watch that match momentum doesn't swing. And I'm just wondering if it's all a bit too frantic, and if I slow the game down, it'll work out a little bit better. So that, I think that's what I'll do, is slow it down now. Just play a little bit more controlled. And then people might take their time. But Guay from centre back, what is he doing up there? And he's made it 2-0. And I think my prediction, based on what I was seeing in those little boxes, is right. And if we start getting more shots on target, we will score some more. But we'll slow it down now. We don't need to go at 200 miles an hour anymore. I think what I will do is I'll pull this wing back into a support duty. It's for them now to come out against us, and if they come out, they're going to leave space. Go on, Moani. He's made it 3. The floodgates have opened. We have done what we need to do. We are still... Hi, Simon. Didn't see you there, mate. Hope you're well. I think we've done the job now. And I'm just hoping we can do it in the cup against them as well. I think maybe we'll have a better start. Good evening, Andy. And so 3-0 up. But we are so far behind in terms of the table. We're like 7 points behind Chelsea. We're not going to make it into the European slots. Our only chance is to make it through the cup. But I can't see that happening. Frimpong's going to get a yellow card here, is he? But looking at that, it's around about 50%. So pretty much I would accept that there was no need to panic. That shots on target ratio is really important. And I think if you're getting some shots on target, you're not getting FM. Just be patient for a while and don't make any changes. That's my philosophy on that. If it had been 17 shots, 1 on target, then I would have been panicking. Hi, Matty. How you doing? Go on, son. Go on. You're onside. Go on. Finally, Canate has put one away. It's 4-0. I said we're either going to see a glut of goals using this tactic, or we are going to be in despair. So far, we are seeing the goals rifling in. It's risky. They're playing this tactic, very risky, but it is one of the more attacking tactics that I've ever seen. And it does make use of the players that we have up top. And I think it is time to make some changes now. Let's just go and make a few changes. Let's bring Kamalo on. I want to give Kamalo a game so he can replace Neves. And Florian Wirtz is a bit tired as well, so Shazavari can come on for him. Doig, he is a little tired. Hartman can come on. And Landerson. And Carapito can come on for him. So strengthen up. Let's see if Kamalo can get himself into good match condition. He will be playing the full game against Ipswich in the next game. Kamalo. And hopefully, I want him to build a relationship with Florian Wirtz. So I want to play them together. Season 23-24. No, I think this is 30-31 now. Or 31-32 now. We are at... hopefully what will be the last club in this long journeyman save that we've been on. Hopefully. I can see Tonali probably needs a rest. So let's give Tonali a rest. And Larson can come on. No, wait. Yeah, Larson can come on for him. Good ball winner. Yeah, I would say so. I just made the decision that perhaps the 3 at the back is too defensive for teams like this. And so far it's paid off. And we've got 4 games that we have to win. And hopefully we'll come out of this with 4 good wins tonight. Hopefully. It's certainly woken the match engine up a little bit. We had a slow start with it, but since they put the first goal in, we've been totally dominant. And we haven't had the possession, though. This is what kind of puzzles me. We've had very little possession, but we've just stormed with them. And I think possibly the reason that the possession figures are low is because of the tempo. And when you play at a very high tempo, you give the ball away. And if you give the ball away, then obviously it gives the possession back to the opposition. So I think the tempo is really what the possession figures are all about. But this, in order to play this way, we have to play with a high tempo. It's risky. Go on, Kamalo. I did have a word with the assistant manager and the coaching staff about training him to do overhead kicks. And they said he's got enough about his game, he doesn't need anything else. So they think he's a very, very good player. And so do I, but he's not shown it yet. He did get injured and took him out for about 2.5 months of the season. But hopefully we're going to see more of him next season. But they said you don't need to train him to do anything. He's got pretty much all of it. And he's been with me for so long. He's like, since I was at Sundowns and we took him to Brazil, and from Brazil we've taken him to Newcastle. He's like my man. And same as Jesus Abba. Found him in the reserves, in the under 18s, developed him, and we've brought him with us as well. But we'll take this 4-0. We've put them away. Oh, this is a good save. Kamalo's not quite on his game yet. And that's it, full time, 4-0. We'll take that. I want to do it in the cup as well. But total annihilation. And in the end, we've exceeded our XG. So I'm just going to say it was a good win for us today. Doesn't do anything in terms of the table. We're still 7 points behind Chelsea. We only have to finish in the top 10. I think that's probably job done now. We are 16 points ahead of Southampton. So I think that's job done now. Yeah, was the first one. And the reason why I loaded it up was because I just felt that maybe 3 at the back, Andy, was a little bit too defensive. Do Newcastle need to play 3 at the back? So I just decided it's worked before. Let's give it a try this time. And it clearly confused the match engine. And do we have a... Yeah, I'm going to give them all a rest. I don't know why Frimpong is not playing very well. I really don't know why he's had such a poor season for such a good player. But Ipswich is to come. We're going to change nothing for Ipswich, and we'll just change the personnel a little bit. That's the first good game Florian Wirtz has had. I've seen him score, But he hasn't like dominated a game like that. Gets a goal bonus. What for? He hasn't scored many. He's reached 20 in the league, has he? He's got 29 in total, Moani. He's got 20 goals in the league. I suppose that's pretty good performance. Hey, Matty, how are you doing? In the Premier League, anybody who scores 20 goals has done really well. So, hats off to Moani. Wolves 2, Tottenham 2, Chelsea 1 again. We've got no chance of catching Brentford. There's just not enough games left. And I think we'll do this myself. We're going to give Hartman a game. He should be fitter now. And Carapito can play. Botman can come in for Guehi. Keep Jesus Abba in there. No reason to take him out. He's playing really well. Although his average rating doesn't, but he makes very few mistakes. And I think one of the other boys, Kamalo, can play. I want him to play alongside Wirtz. Although actually I might push Wirtz up and bring Shazavari in. Just mix it up there. Tonali is a very... I was reading about Tonali in real life today. I didn't realise he'd been on this 10-month ban for his gambling problems. But he is due to come back in the next couple of weeks for Newcastle, isn't he? So that'll be quite interesting. Patterson can come on the bench. And I want this young centre-back on the bench as well. Where is he? Guevara. He can come on the bench. I had no idea. Sometimes, like some of the things I read, I've absolutely had no idea that had actually happened. So, oh boy. He wants to play Guimaraes. Why not? It's Ipswich. Why not? But I actually don't want to play Guimaraes. I'm going to play Larson as the ball winner there. Just rotate the team a little bit. What I don't want to happen now is that one of my other forwards gets injured. Southampton 4, Villa 1, Brighton 1. Doesn't make any difference really to what's going on. There's top 7 and the bottom 7. There's a huge gap. So it doesn't really make much difference what's going on. Got to hope that somebody like Brentford just lose 3 games on the trot. Hi, yes, how are you doing, my friend? Oh boy, that would be a terrible crisis that they're in, Andy. They have to sign Langstaff. Good, I'm glad Man United lost to Liverpool as well. I hope Liverpool go on and win it, so that it will... That's an interesting... Oh, like, he wants to play more direct passing, and it's always worth bearing something like that in mind. When he says that, which is totally out of the blue, he doesn't say that often, then don't do it, but just bear it in mind if you're struggling later on. Because it just might be what changes the game later on. I'm a big believer in using the advice that you get. You don't always have to act on it, but just keep it in the back of your head. What's his foot? both strong. So yeah, that's the right way this should be. I want him to get used to playing with Kamalo, because I'm going to rely on those two if I can keep Kamalo fit. Not in this stream, yes, but in the next one. I'm going to try and play 4 games in this one. But definitely on Sunday we will be at the end. Do I need to say anything? They seem fairly motivated. This might make them even better. Now we need the 3 points here, boys. We definitely need the 3 points. And is rotating the team the best idea? I have to play players, and they're good enough. It's just whether we're going to stick the ball in the net. And on the front foot immediately. Florian Wirtz is never going to win that. She's never going to win that battle in the air. I mean, I don't know if we have to put on the shopping list some taller players, or whether we can go with this small team. We're at about... Just thinking about the number there, Andy. It's been slow, but that's because I'm not uploading as much. Go on, hit it. Oh, but keep it down. I think I'm on 7,850, somewhere near there. So I got another 150 to go before I get to 8K. It's slow, but hopefully it'll get there. I hope we're not playing Get Stuck In, because I don't want that on. No. It's not bad. It's way more than I ever imagined. Way more. I thought I might get 500. It's way more than... And it is one of the smallest niches on YouTube. It's probably is one of the minor niches on YouTube. There's a lot of gaming channels that do all sorts of games, don't limit themselves to one. But given the amount of people who play this game, and not everybody watches YouTube, only about a fifth, I think, of the people who play the game watch YouTube. The other 80% think they're the best in the world. And they don't need to watch YouTube videos. So it is a very small niche. So I've done really well, I think. I'm quite pleased. Penalty ref. That's inside the box as well. And yeah, as I said, I expected when I first uploaded my first video and I looked back at it, I thought I might get 500 if I'm lucky. And oh, come on, that was inside the box, referee. If that had been Ipswich, you'd have given a pen. Come on, let's have another goal glut here. We could do with cheering up. And once again, we are just playing the game in their half, although they did peek out, and we have had all the possession in this game pretty much. Again, it's chance creation at this point. We're not creating chances. Could be the rotated team. They're not as good as the other team. But you gotta believe when you have players like Wirtz and Kamalo playing up front, these boys are capable of scoring a goal or two. Or at least more than a goal or two. Hartman, we got a couple of yellow cards here. Bergam. And as he's a key tackler, be as wise to tell them not to do it. Go on, Moreno. Go on, son. Show me why you should be my first choice next season. Nice pass. That Sharavazi was a little bit greedy there. So I am going to tell him to shoot less often, because he is a greedy player. Just find somebody. There were loads of people inside them. In much better positions. It looks like Ipswich are Barcelona B team, because they're passing the ball out from the back very nicely around my press. It's hard to... If they're that good, what are they doing at the bottom of the league? Although I have started my Ipswich save. And it is probably going to be an interesting save. For when I'm away in hospital, you guys will have something to watch. And I've gone through the transfer window because it is an absolute shambles, the transfer window at Ipswich. And I've been asked to do Ipswich a few times in the live stream. And now I know why you guys wanted me to attempt it. Because it is an absolute shambles in the transfer window. And I'm really short of key players, players in key positions in that save. Is he giving him offside? I didn't, Andy. I'm still waiting for the day that somebody comes up to me in the street and says, "Are you old man Phil?" I only want it to happen just once, and then that'll make me a very happy man. But unfortunately, it might be a couple of years before that happens. And I don't get out enough. That's the biggest problem. I just don't get out enough to meet people. But it's more likely to happen when I am on my travels, because I've got a lot of viewers from that part of the world. So somebody might one day. Come on, put it away. Oh, gosh. We've got the same problem against Ipswich as we had against Nottingham Forest. We're creating all the chances. I think I'm going to be watching the Premier League stats this weekend and see if there are any games which you could say that looks like a game from FM. Oh, you're in. Go on, you must score. No penalty? What's that about? I don't want a penalty. And this game is glitching like crazy. So I'm guessing I've heard about that as well. I'm guessing that we're going to have a penalty appeal later on. I'm actually guessing that we will have a penalty shout later on, which will be given as no penalty. Although we've already had it, haven't we? It was the one that was outside the box. It was a pretty good goal, actually. Nice passing. It's happening quite a lot. There's a lot of glitches in this game. I'm wondering where the pass came from for that goal. Who gave the pass? It was a nice pass. Looks like Shazavari. So telling him to shoot less often might have paid off. Looks like he made the pass. But one is not enough, especially attacking like this, because they could easily break out and score, because we've got so many players up the pitch. And there's big spaces at the back. So one is not enough, boys. I think it was Shazavari. And telling him to shoot less often, was that a good call? It was a nice pass. And a good example of pass into space with the forward running onto it. Go on, Hartman. Even though you're being sold in the window. Oh, that was close again. And they are playing with a low block, and you can tell because of the number of blocks that are going on inside the penalty area. But if they want to win, they're going to have to come out at some point. Because they won't win it by sitting in their half. He is a good young player, Shazavari. Well, he's probably a bit young. At 20. Is he 20? Shazavari, how old is he? 21 now. But he's got a fine set of attributes which will get better. And so he is a good player. Which is why I'm thinking that Wirtz can go up top. Let him play next season. Wirtz up top. With Kanate. And let Shazavari play. Kumalo and Shazavari can play behind. But if we're going to play this way, we'll definitely need an extra striker. Because these two have not been good enough, Isaac and Muani. Come on, let's get another one. I'm not happy with 1-0. Again, first touch is poor. Jesus, Abba has got a good first touch, so... what am I seeing? There's the danger of this tactic. There's loads of empty space. But we are 1-0 up. It's another 3 points. What's happening to Brentford as a matter of interest? So they're not playing. So we'll be within 5 points of them. And that could put pressure on them. And we've got to play Manchester City and Tottenham. 2 tough games for us. Before we play Fulham at the end. So we do need to win these games. This game and the next one, which is West Ham. We need to win those. And then we'll try and work out what we do against Manchester City and Tottenham. I'm going to go back into the 3 at the back. Into a low block for those games. I'm not sure I want him on free kicks. I need a better set piece taker. But again, if you saw the shots on target ratio, it's really good. So you don't need to panic at the moment. And nobody is playing particularly well. I'm going to tell Kamalo I want a bit more out of him. I'm not happy. Let's get a bit more out of you, mate. You're capable of better than that. We still only got the 2 booked. What was that tackle? He just threw himself at Wirtz. I don't even know if he made contact with the ball, did he? Go on, Kamalo. Oh. Did he hit the outside of the post then, did he? He's not his usual self. The injury, I don't think, has done him any good. Let's give him a little shout, demand more. Please don't lose this game now. We've totally dominated them. We're still having problems scoring goals. And so therefore it's not the tactic. It's not the way we've been playing. It's something else. The reason that we just can't put balls in the back of the net. It must be personnel. Although Mwani's been playing really well. Unless I have to play people like Suone. We'll get some returns from him. Well, that was clever. Another open goal missed. Unless the game just doesn't like Newcastle. The game does have its favourite teams. Like for years it was Man United. They could do no wrong. In fact, Man United are still way overperforming in FM. For years they would win every trophy. So it does have its favourites. And then I think in FM23 the game didn't like Tottenham very much. Tottenham were like finishing very, very poor positions. So maybe that's what it's about. There was one year where it didn't like any of the Welsh clubs, which was interesting. So Hartman. Oh boy. I think I'm going to tell them to stay on their feet. And a few too many cards for my liking. Carapito has been a shambles. Landerson can come on. Kamalo is improving, so don't need to panic with him yet. Let's leave it at 2 for now. Evening, Callum. Only just, and these are the bottom of the league team. Although we did win the last one 4-0, which was quite nice to see for the opener. But we should be doing a lot better against Ipswich. Even though I've rotated the team, still should be doing a lot better. But they are handling the press really, really well when we see them attack. They're handling the press really well. And maybe you've got to come off the press. But I don't want to. I want to keep the pressure on them. Is it a case of the floodgates will open again because of the tempo that we're playing at? Because we're just moving them around and eventually... Always looking at that shots on target ratio, which is pretty good. It's 50%. Their goalkeeper must be having a good game, or one of their defenders must be playing well. I just need to have a look at who might be the threat from them in a minute. He did well to rescue that. But he didn't rescue it. It was a terrible pass. So I want to have a look. Who are the threats? That was poor. Okay. Smocic. Both wing-backs are the threat. So we'll go and take them out then. Where is Smocic? That's him. Has he got a weaker foot? Right foot. And is he... yeah, he's quite strong and brave. And then the other one... where's their defender right? They don't have one. Oh, there he is. He can have a hard tackle. And we'll type mark him too. And where's the other one? Let's make sure they can't create much. But I'm not too happy about this performance. Pretty poor. Against a team like Ipswich, well done, Kamalo. Against a team like Ipswich, it should be 5-0 this. Muani, come on, Sam. I tell you what, I've been watching some of their stuff from last season. Callum, I think there's this left wing back they've got, Leif Davis. He might surprise a few people. He's got really good pace and he can cross a ball. So he might surprise a few people. The unfortunate thing for Ipswich is their first two games are Liverpool and Manchester City, which is probably not what they wanted. We've got to do better than this. Come on. Totally destroying them again. Let's shout and demand more. Kamalo has picked up, which is good. Nobody's playing really badly. I'm not quite sure though why, when we're playing so well, we're struggling to beat them. They're sitting in a mid-block by the look of it. They quite rate themselves. This is kind of a weird game. Very strange. Let's make some more changes. Larson can come off. I think I will bring Guevara on for Botman. And João Neves can come in here. And we'll just shore this up by putting Tonali. I didn't want to make changes in this game, but being forced to because they're just not playing well enough. I need to secure this game if at all possible. I think I might actually come into a low block in a minute. Yeah, they have got Dara. They've got hi, Cade. Dara. They've got some good fixtures after game week 1 and 2. If they haven't had the stuffing completely knocked out of them, although I think that Ipswich will give Liverpool a game. In the first game, teams promoted do come out and give teams a game in their first game. And I don't think it's going to be the rout that Liverpool fans are expecting. Might be 2-0 or 3-0, but it won't be any more than that. And Ipswich may well even score, given Liverpool's defensive record. And Ipswich are going to score in a minute, and I've got to do something about this. What can I do? I'm going to go into a low block. We're going to get bodies behind the ball. They are absolutely hammering us. I'm going to come off the press. I did think that they were playing like Barcelona a little bit. Try and hold on to the ball a little bit more. I did think they were playing a little bit like Barcelona and passing round our press. And they have been the better team in the last 30 minutes. Have I got any more subs I can make? No. Come on, you can deal with that. Oh, just go and give him a corner, why don't you? We'll put both of these. They have completely taken over the game. We've been poor again. Very poor. Maybe the match engine has worked the tactic out. I do believe you've got to change your tactic every 8 games now. So maybe it's worked it out already. I can remember, like, FM22, you didn't need to change your tactic. It would be 2 or 3 years before you had to change your tactic. I've no idea what happened in 23. They changed all that. It became like every season. And now it seems to be you've got to change your tactic every like 6 weeks. Otherwise you're just going to get annihilated week in, week out. Good tackle. They are trying to get behind us now. So we're going to pull that line back to try and stop them. Try and stop them getting in behind us. They're using width to try and get in behind us. So if I drop the line, that'll make it harder for them to do that. It's just been a poor performance. We pretty much annihilated them, but we didn't score. And you know what FM is like? If you don't score, it's going to punish you. But we'll come off this attacking now. We'll go to balanced. And the low block means we'll get bodies behind the ball. So somehow got to get the ball back off them, and we've managed to do that. And often the low block will do that. So we hopefully now can see this out. I'd like to get another goal to make me feel like the game is being seen out. Averts has suddenly decided he doesn't want to play very well. For such a good player, he's a bit moody on the pitch. Can't be bothered today. He's got a rating of 7, but I think that's just because he assisted. Maybe I'm going to have to pull these lines back a little bit further. Oh, my goodness me. Shouldn't have to do this. Not against Ipswich. Right, it's time to shut the game down. They're both going to fullbacks on defend. And we are going to change what's going on here. Kamalu can't play there. Verts can. Kamalu can come and play as a false 9. He can be a... Let's play him as a Mazzala. Give us some width. And he can play as... Well, he can't really. Just put him as a centre mid on support. Let's try and get bodies behind the ball. We are getting pasted here. They're still getting in behind us. I've dropped the line back so far. This is Ipswich, not Liverpool. Unless it's just been a poor team performance. So, should I say that was a good win, or should I be honest and say you were absolutely shocking? I expect to see you in training tomorrow. That was terrible. We didn't play as well as we can, but I'm happy with the result. And we are now 5 points behind Brentford. If they lose, could put pressure on them. Shazavari set for a pay increase. Do I have the money? And play 2 of the 4 on 1-2. We've now got a win in this FA Cup semi-final. Let's get to the cup final, boys. Let's get to the cup final. And that is on Saturday. So we will rest them. So let's give them a little rest, a day off. And then we will play that first team again. And hopefully get through to the final. The board are now delighted. They've gone from being absolutely unhappy, disappointed. Landerson gets another few quid in the bank. I don't think there's anything we have to worry about with Forest. Just need to score goals, boys. I'm just wondering who's going to get injured this week, because I didn't get an injury last week, did I? So we're going to get an injury this week towards the end of the week. Who's it going to be? What's that? Following fixtures been rearranged. Why? It doesn't say why. Are they in the semi-final? So, what does this mean? So it means that there's an extra place allocated. Not already qualified to the Champions League phase. So does that mean that 5 teams from England will go into the Champions League? And then 6th place will go into the Europa League, and 7th place. Does it affect then the Europa League? Because number 7 then might get into the Europa League. Is that what it means, Simon? Whereas 6 is the cut-off point at the moment. Does it mean that 7 will get European football? It's something I don't understand. Something I should get myself to understand, but I've never understood what that means. Does everybody move up like one place and get like European football? So for the cup, and this is a big match, so I'm not changing the goalkeeper for this one. Although if I don't, he will have a dreadful game. Is his competition, so we'll play him. And then we'll go back to the team I played against them before. And We had Doig. And we had Abba and Gwehi. Might actually give Abba a rest. He's played the last 2 games, hasn't he? So let's give him a rest. And bring in Biomo. Or maybe even Botman. It should say it in the rules. I mean, I haven't checked them. You always think you know the rules to the... But that is something even in real I don't understand. Hartman, Patterson... So, who did I have in there before? I had Tonali and Neves. Were they round the other way? Tonali and Neves. Maybe Botman is probably a better bet. If he's right-footed. Nah, he's left-footed. Guehi is strong on both. So we'll bring Botman in. Guehi can play on cover. That works for me. Kamalo. Do I give him another shot at this? Yeah, I want to give him another shot. So Wirtz and Kamalo. I think I should switch those around. Wirtz can play on attack, Kamalo on support. Although he does... His right foot's only reasonable, so I do need to play him on this side. And then Muani and Kanate can come back into the team. Then I've got Hartman, Patterson, who's the defender? Stan can go onto the bench. Hartman, Patterson. No, we'll leave Guevara there. No, we'll put Stan on the bench. Landerson, Capriati, Shazavari, Larson, Swone. That does it for me. Is this where we go out of the cup to the team we just beat 4-0? Or do we go and do them again? Oh, there's the injury I was waiting for. But it's not a big one. So I did change him actually and take him off the bench, didn't I? So we are 5 points off 6th place. West Ham are even going to struggle to catch us now. We have to play West Ham next. If we beat West Ham, we're safe in 7th. We've got to focus not on the league, but on this cup match. He is delighted with successfully keeping his target. Yeah, his future is guaranteed. I've just offered him a new contract. I think we did that, didn't we? Yeah, we've already done. I fulfilled my part of the bargain already. And I don't know what that means either. Press with higher intensity. Because the way I see it, We're just about pressing as much as we can. So I'm not quite sure what that means, and the tempo is as high. I don't know what that means, what he's suggesting there. Don't start using common sense. Yeah, I know. Bad place to start, Andy, isn't it? I read some. So, did you find anything out, Simon? So, let's go to the game. Come on, let's get to the cup final. Keep that option into Europe open. It'd be nice to finish the season with a cup final. And we should be able to beat this team. Nobody actually caused us a problem last time, did they? I didn't even have to think about... I'm going to mark Hudson-Odoi. But that's about it. We're favourites for a reason. I have seen in here one comment previously that was when you beat somebody heavily, go out there and make sure they understand you're going to do it again. Go out there and do it again to them. But I'm just going to say we're favourites for a reason. I'm expecting to see good performances. They're all composed, but it didn't really cheer them up a bit. But I am expecting to see a much better performance than that Ipswich game. Your league can have 6 Champions League spots if one team won the UEL. One team... Oh my God, this is starting to sound complicated. So, did anyone... And it also depends on the FA Cup as well. So if somebody wins the FA Cup and they're already in the top 4, then doesn't that open up another place? It's it's all very confusing. It's a part of football I don't really understand. And I don't understand FM at all. But in real football, that is a part of something I really don't understand. Unless Nottingham Forest have decided they're going to win this game as well. They're not going to sit down. They're playing really high up the pitch. Look where their wing backs are. So they're going to take the game to us. I was expecting bigger performances from this tactic. But it could be there's just something wrong with this Newcastle team. Who is that? Muani. Couldn't win that ball. They are playing very wide. So I'm actually going to play down the middle today. If they are leaving spaces in the middle, that might be where to exploit them. They are playing very wide. Yeah, I think that we need at least 3 players, Dara, who are better than the players that we're going to get rid of. And Guimaraes is one who's got to go. Oh, and there's a goal. And was that my input? We're bound to find out in a minute. Playing up through the middle, was that what we wanted to do? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bodies in the middle. But I think it was my input was too early for that. No, it already has changed, so I might have had something to do with that. I think, yeah, 3 or 4 good players going out, hopefully, for good money. And if we can just get good replacements for them in, I think that's all we can do, is just keep improving the team piece by piece. But improving on these players is going to cost money. At this level, you don't pick them up for 20 mil. They're going to cost a lot of money. Even the wing back that I would like to bring in, they're going to cost 100 mil to improve on what we've already got. Few more Kamalos and Jesus Abba is what I want. But there were only 2 in Brazil. I've had a look round the Brazilian clubs and there's nothing really available at the moment in Brazil. Using my knowledge of Brazil, there's nothing really available. Looking through the squads, there's a lack of wonder kids in Brazil at the moment. So that's not an option. We're going to have to spend money on players. But to get good players in at this level, if you want to win the Prem and if you want to win the European competitions, you're going to have to spend money. And that's going to take maybe 2 seasons more. But that's good news because we will achieve our goals. But it just might take a little bit of time. I just went to visit. I just got on a plane, Andy, and went to say hello to the old boys down there. But, had a look round while I was there. That is not cheating. Having a look round a country that I'm very familiar with is not cheating because I know that country very well. That is not cheating. Also, if I went to South Africa, I know players in South Africa, but unfortunately there's no one good enough. I did have a look at Barso, but unfortunately he's been trained as a right winger and can't play as a right fullback anymore. So I did have a look at him, and he's getting on a bit now. He's 29, I think, in Isaac is definite offload. But Wirtz, you've got to give him another season. He's played half a season with Newcastle. I want him to form a partnership with Kamalo. So definitely Isaac is out. Muani is wanted by several clubs. He can go. Kanate I want to keep. And the plan would be to play Wirtz up top as it stands at the moment. We have very good attacking midfielders coming through like Shazavari, Dom Baker, Doctor Who. So they're very good young prospects. We have Kamalo playing, who can play as the attacking mid. So we've got to use these youngsters. We can bring in one good advanced forward, if we can find one. Come on, boys, come on. Let's get this second goal. Let's get to the cup final. Come on, do you know what's at stake here? You don't look like you're bothered. I want to be telling you congratulations on getting to the final. Not you were a bunch of monkeys. And you should have won that easy, but you blew it. But we've stopped Nottingham Forest playing by going through the middle. They're not playing. We're just not getting shots on target again. But that little change has stopped Nottingham Forest's forays into our half. I did notice they were playing really wide. And that's possibly how they thought they were going to beat us. Oh, you should have had a shot then, Neves. I would have backed you having a shot from there. I'd like some sort of European competition, and if we get Conference League, then we should win that. And we're here to win trophies. And if we can win the FA Cup, that'll be the 21st trophy of the save. And Guay's made it 2-0. Get in. It looks like we're in the final. Excellent. So if we can win the cup, we'll have to beat Arsenal to do it. But if we can win the cup, that'll be the 21st trophy of the save. And that's a lot of trophies for 5 clubs. And 8 seasons. Because, yeah, 23-24, and it's now... Yeah, that's 8 seasons, and then we'll have won 21 trophies. I'll take that. That's pretty impressive for me. I think you go into the Europa League. If you win the Europa League, you go into the Champions League next season, don't you? So if you win the conference, you'll go into the Europa League. Pretty sure. If we win the FA Cup, then we will be in the Europa League, yeah. FA Cup winners go straight into the Europa League. I mean, I'm waiting for the day in real life when a championship team wins the FA Cup. That would be so cool for them to be playing in the Europa League next season. Like you could have Barrow or somebody playing in the Europa League. I'm just waiting for the day. It can happen that a championship team can win the FA Cup. And hopefully it won't be too long. I'd love that to happen. The old Cup, Winners' Cup, and the Fairs Cup, as one of them was called. I think that was the Cup Winners' Cup. Was called the Fairs Cup before. Again, poor first touch. Who was that? Kamalo. He should not be playing that badly. He's got a very, very good first touch. Did they? They played in the quarter-final of the Cup Winners' Cup. It would be so good if we could have a championship team in the Europa League. That would be such fun. Because, you know, in all fairness, some of the teams in the group stage in the Europa League are not that great. So a good championship team could give them a game. The Milk Cup, was it? I think that would be even before my time, Andy. Was it called the Milk Cup? They didn't get promoted till the following season. I just love it. If they could if we could see a not a Champions League, a Europa League spot being taken by a championship team. Someone like a Middlesbrough this year winning the cup. Come on, boys. Let's get more goals here. Oh, we've hit the post twice. Can't complain. We're 2-0 up. We're dominating the game. Birmingham won the League Cup against Arsenal and got relegated. Yeah, I could imagine it would have been a bit of a problem, Jamie. I don't remember that one. But then my memory's not so good as I've got older. I would have thought I could have remembered that one. Birmingham winning the League Cup. No, I can't remember it. So have you guys got your fantasy teams ready? Mine's ready. Mine's gonna be quite surprising. I'm actually gonna play my bench boost in game week 1, and triple captain in game week 2, and I'm gonna play my wild card game week 4, and I've already got my wild card sorted out. I've made a note of the team that it will be, and then in game week 6 I'm going to do a mini wild card. I've already got it all the way planned up to game week 10. I'm not going with Salah. Not yet, anyway. He will be coming in game week 4, though, but going back out again in game week 6. So it's all like planned up to game week 10. I think I've gone mad this year. Because by game week 10, I'll have another 4 transfers that I can use. But like most seasons, it will all go wrong. And then suddenly all the players I've identified for my wild card will be injured. I'll probably get 2 injuries in the first game week. So it'll all go wrong. So I've spent this hours of planning for nothing. Wigan beat... Oh, yeah, they did. Did they go into Europe, Wigan, when they were relegated? Did they actually go into Europe as a relegated team? God, my memory is so bad. I do remember them beating City in the final. Come on, boys. We're dominating this, but you're not really doing anything. It's all a bit stale, but you've got to give credit to Nottingham Forest, I suppose. Bless them. They came out like they wanted to play. Anybody playing badly? Tonali and Kanate probably need a wake-up call. You've not been good enough. Get it together. Such a comfortable win. One of the... do you know what? In FPL, I would just love to be manager of the week once. Or to be manager of the month once. I've been playing it for I don't know how many years. And it would just be nice to, for 1 week or 1 month, to be manager of the week. I know I'll never win it or be in the top 100. But just once. Go on, let me just once be manager of the week or manager of the month. Just make my day that. In my eyes, I become an FPL legend. If you can just do it once. Has anybody ever won manager of the week or manager of the month? Anybody in the chat ever done it? I would just love to do it. Just to have 1 game week where I get it absolutely spot on. 160 points, manager of the week. Would be so cool. But that's dreamland again. And if we're not careful, Forest are going to come back into this. So I'm going to shout at them and demand more, because they're not playing very well. The rain has started to fall. Should I go to a more direct passing game with this tempo? Maybe we should get the ball forward, get less touches. So we're going to try that. We're going to just up it a little bit. Have less touches getting the ball forward. We were seeing plenty of the ball, creating enough. Well, not that direct, cannot, eh? Not that direct. Different corner. We haven't tried one of those for a while, but it didn't come. See, I've got to change this set piece coach. He's not very good. We tried one of those a while back, and it didn't work either. Wirtz and Kamalo have played well. I want them to start playing together. Go on, son, you're in. 3-0. That's why these boys, they have to go. They're just not consistent enough. Haaland would be scoring all these. That's why he gets about 80 goals a season in FM. He'd just be scoring all those. We are just not consistent enough at putting them away. That's why those two, Isaac and Muani, have to go. Come on, boys. Come on. But the transfer window will be down to you lot. As we've done pretty much throughout this this save, we pass the transfer window on to you. See what players you can bring in for me. You can be my director of football. We've had some interesting teams selected over the live streams. Some very good transfer windows done. So hopefully you'll do a fantastic job with this one. Unfortunately, we can only use one. But it gives you something to do, boys. It makes you feel part of it. My son asked if there was a prize. I told him, well, get an old man Phil autograph. What sort of a prize was he thinking about, Andy? A yacht? A villa in the south of France? Oh dear, oh dear. That was Kamalo, wasn't it? Some of these boys are playing very poorly in this game. The two up top again. I just wonder. No, they're on the right side. They're just having poor games. Let's get Moani off. He's played the last two games. Florian Wirtz is tired. Shazafari can come on. And we need to tell him to shoot less often. Who else is tired? Doig. He doesn't last very well. Can't last 90 minutes, that boy. Frimpong lasts quite well. Neves is tired. So Karapati can come on. Come on, boys. This is not good enough. Do I have to go into a low block again? When we should be absolutely dominating. And they're not actually doing much to us. We're just not doing much to them. The prize, Andy, is the thrill of winning the FPL League. That's the prize. I think we need to put that on. I think that's a flaw in what I'm trying to do. The idea was I want them not to take too many touches. The esteem, yes. The pride, that is the prize. I think maybe that's the wrong call by me in this tactic. I know what I want them to do. I want them not to take three touches in the box, but to have a go. But that's maybe not working out, which is, in this game particularly, we're getting tons of shots from way out. And then it's time to make a couple more changes. Tonali hasn't played very well, so Landerson can come in. No, that's it. Subs are done. And at the moment, we are in the FA Cup final. One more goal. Come on, boys. One more goal. Yeah, Kamala's not playing that well. He's got a 7.5 rating. I don't know how. Did he get an assist? Maybe I should tell him to dribble less. Not to dribble more. Maybe that's the problem. Get him passing the ball. Botman trying a volley from outside the box. One of these games, this tactic is going to work as it should do, and there's going to be a 7-0 win. But at the moment, it's not working. Just demand more from them. They're not doing enough. Nottingham Forest are proving to be a tough team to beat. As well as Ipswich, but then they always are for me. Oh, you're offside, Sam. By a mile. Certainly have to work on your positioning, Sam. You are miles offside. 18 shots, 9 on target. We need to improve that a little bit. Maybe working the ball into the box will up the percentage. Reduce the number of shots, but up the percentage. I don't know. We'll go against West Ham with work the ball into the box. They've come back into the game. We've let them come back into the game for some reason. There's the goal that was coming. Oh, don't tell me we're not going to get into the final now. Oh, What a bunch of donkeys. They're not tired, so it's not like they can't press. They're not really tired. Kamalo's tired. There's too much dribbling. I hate dribbling in this game. The dribbling doesn't make any sense. We are a team of really good dribblers, and we can't dribble. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, FM, you are so flawed as a game. So flawed. Come on. 21 shots. More than half on target. They have 2. And score 1. So flawed as a game. But yeah, as I said earlier, it makes your players look like idiots because you're playing the game wrong. And I haven't been focused in this one. I just assumed after we spanked them 4-0 last time that we'd win. It's not that the players are idiots, it's just that we're playing it wrong for this game. And the only way the game can show you is by making them look like idiots. And by making the opposition look like they're the Brazilian first team. Come on, let's get a third goal. Let's put this game away. Right, let's come off attacking. We'll go positive. Let's put these fullbacks on support. He can come as a fullback on support. We've got to see this game out now. And we'll come back into a low block again when I'm allowed. Hold on to the ball. We don't want to counter press. And we'll come back into a low block. Pull the line back 1 notch. And just try and see the game out now. It's pretty poor match. And I keep telling them, well done, that was a good win for us, but it's been pretty poor again. When we go into the low block, we actually look better. I wonder if I should just start in the low block. And that's how we beat Liverpool, by going into a low block. I wonder if I just start with the low block. Again, first touch. Oh, what is Kamalo's first touch? 14. Every time I see him get the ball, his first touch is poor. Maybe he's got to work on his ball control. I think he already is. I think that's what I've got him on. Oh, come on. I'm going to berate them now. This is just dreadful. I don't know if that does any good, but it makes me feel better to berate your team. Look at that. 21 shots, 10 on target against 2 and 2. And we beat them just. This game is too flawed. You've dreamt of being in the final. You were absolutely rubbish, though, getting there. But enjoy. We can't surely play that badly against West Ham. Oh, and we will play West Ham in the final. Oh, it's not Arsenal. It's not. What happened to Arsenal then? West Ham beat them 2-0. Well, that's a bonus. That is a bonus. 6 days. What time is it? United will win the final. They're not even in it, Andy. We could beat West Ham in the final. So it does mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games to go. I'm not going to get another one in tonight. We're going to have to wait for the... We have to play West Ham next, then Man City and Tottenham. And we'll play in the last episode the last 2 games. You're through to the final, but I still... You're in training. You were absolutely rubbish. They were absolutely shocking. Both teams. Oh yeah, United will win the final then, yeah. But that is a bonus, playing West Ham in the final. So this next game that we play is a big game, given that we lost 2-0 to West Ham in the first game that I actually took over. We haven't done badly since. We've had a couple of these are inexplicable. 6 games, 2 defeats. 6 games, 2 defeats. And we'd have done a lot better if this hadn't happened. So we're going to call it a night for tonight. Thanks for coming along, guys. I feel pretty pleased with how it went. We scored 7 and conceded 1, but they are poor teams, and we should have beaten those teams. But we are through to the final, and we still have 4 Premier League games to win, 2 of which are going to be really tough. West Ham, unknown how we're going to get on against them. I will continue with this against West Ham next time, but then we're going to have to try and figure out what to do against Manchester City and Tottenham. So, if we can win the FA Cup, that'll be trophy number 21 for this save. That'll make me happy. That will make me very happy. And stay in the top 7. That'll mean Europa League. That'll mean more money for you guys to spend in the transfer window. What I might do is start a bit early next time. Maybe 7:30 so that we can get these games done. These are going to be... Well, actually, no, I can't. There's no way I can fit... Unless I do a 3-hour, we're not going to get them all in. Bit of a shame that it's worked out like that. We'll see what happens. Shirt and tie for the final. You think so, Andy? I'll just wear me scruffs, a pair of old dirty old shorts and a ripped up t-shirt. So, FA Cup final. And we're only 5 points behind Brentford as well now. Brentford lose, it puts the pressure on them. Okay, guys, thanks for coming along, and good luck to all those playing in the FPL, and hopefully you'll have lots of success over the weekend. Hopefully I will too. And when we come back on Sunday, I'll update you on how it's going in the fantasy league. And I'll be giving you the news that Andy is top of the Old Man Phil League, getting a score of 150. I'll give you all that news on Sunday. Yeah, do you know the code, Dara? Let me just post the code, if I can find the code. I've got to go to FBL, where is it? And I'll post the code for anybody who wants to join. Where's my fantasy team? There it is. And leagues. And the code, where's the code? The code is UKPG MQ. That is the code, I think. So anybody who wants to join, there is the code for you. And have a successful weekend. See you on Sunday. We'll be back for more with Newcastle on Sunday. Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it. If you haven't given us a like, make sure you do before you go. Help the channel to grow. Thanks, guys, and see you soon. Take care. Be safe.